live on the Fix Show, DTFradio.com. We are celebrating our 6th year here on this station. We built this from the ground up. You know what it is. And our first guest of our 2022 season is Mr. Bel-Air himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Sovereign Brand himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Brett Berish is here tonight with us, man. Let's clap it up one time, man. Right, man. Right. You know what it is, Black Bottle Boys. We here, Bel-Air. What's up, Mr. Berish? Can we say Mr. Berish or should we say Brett?
Brett's fine, but DJ Trace, that's how I want to wake up every day. I want to hear you giving the spiel every morning, and I'm going to be excited to start the day.
Oh, Brett don't know about me. He don't know about my intros. He don't know about my intros.
Intros is heavy.
Yeah, man, my intros are crazy out here, Brett. You know what I'm saying? I'm known for the intros.
I love it. You're giving. I'm all excited. I got to work harder now. But you guys are good. You're supporting Bel-Air. Prez, you're supporting Bamboo. I got my Vion on.
Right.
You got to be one team, one dream. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Right. So once again, shout out to everybody who's tuned in right now. Brett, let's start from the bottom. How was your holidays, man? How you doing? How was your holidays?
Hey, perfect. This year, we did holiday in November because I like working and I wanted the holiday to start off the year strong. So it was family time. I got 6 kids. I got to be with all of them. And I got to do what I love, which is spend time with my family and drink alcohol. So I got no complaints. Right.
It's funny that you say something specific that I just heard. Me and you have something in common already, and it's not even an hour into the show. I have 6 children as well. I have 4 sons, and I have 2 daughters.
I'm the opposite. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Boys. Right. I guess us guys with the beards have something in common.
me, you, and Ross. I think Ross just caught up, and he may have 6.
Right. Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He wants to keep catching up to me. How's that?
I'm keeping mine shaded for the time being.
Yeah, you got a great looking beard though, man. Salute to you.
I was going to say, man, that was one of the first things listen, even from watching the other interviews and stuff like that, man. That's just a complimentary beard there, man.
This is what we call old. That's it. This is
old. That's maintained. Listen, man. Listen, people work hard. Look at your man Ross. He knows what it takes to have a good beard. So you do the same, man. You look good.
But you know what? I'm all for masks, but the masks screw up the beard.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It screws up the beard. It screws it up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So let's jump right into it. I get that. You know, I've seen some of your interviews, and today I really want to focus on the products. I want to talk a little bit more about the products that you own, that you have. I want people to get acquainted with what's the stories behind each bottle. You know, I really want to get into deep details on your products. And the first product I want to talk about is Bamboo.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Bamboo. I love the bottle. I love the logo.
Nice.
You know, we had about 15 of those bottles at my birthday last year.
Right.
It was Bel-Air out.
Yes.
What's the concept behind that bottle? What was the inspiration behind the logo? Let's talk about Bamboo. Let's get into Bamboo today.
So everything starts with me. I'm not in the entertainment business. I'm not in the celebrity business. I'm in the liquor business. This is my foundation. And we've been doing it. My brothers and I have been doing it for 21 plus years.
Right.
What we started 21 years ago is the same today. We want to create brands and categories that we think we can make the best possible product.
Right.
That's where it starts. So when it comes to product, and Bamboo specifically, it's putting pieces together that all fits. One goal was, you know what, the market deserves and the consumer deserves a premium product. And the problem is you don't have premium rums out there. They're all your lower end rums. And we wanted to come up with, which is called Bumbu the Original, something that was palatable, approachable. You could drink it straight. You could make a pina colada. You could make a Mai Tai. You could do a dark and stormy. You can mix it. Right. And that's what this product is. It's got the most gold medals ever for a new brand. It is, you can drink it straight, you can mix it. It's got everything going on. And then you start putting the pieces together. The pieces, Bumbu, the name, most people don't know, but in the 16th century, merchants who traveled the West Indies, the Caribbean, they didn't like the taste of traditional rum. They called it grog. They would blend their own out of it, and they would call that Bumbu. And we've brought that back. That's where the inspiration came from, this idea of blending different sugar canes. It's 8 different sugar canes from 8 different countries, blended, aged up to 16 years. And the X, it's got that, there's an X logo on it. It's got that, Caribbean pirate, X marks the spot. If you notice one thing, Trace, I don't know if you notice, is this cork. The cork,
of course, I've noticed that.
The single longest cork in existence. Right. I wanted something it could bite out of the bottle and make it pop. Right. The bottle is weighted. It's got an X on the bottom. There's no paper labels on it. Everything to me it's got to speak to art, and it's got to be something special where you finish that bottle, you want to keep it. You want to use it. You don't want to throw it out. That's my goal with any brand, and that's Bumbu.
Right. To even say that though, like the little detail to even go into saying that there's no paper label on the bottle, you get that, I never even, you don't even think about that, those little details until you really have one and you really see it, and you realize like, wow, this is like a trophy.
And Prezi, that was the goal with all our brands, is they're not made in a lab. It's not some marketing company or consulting company telling us what the statistics are and what people believe, do this, do that. It's all gut feeling, and little things to me matter. I want everything to be special. I want it to be unique. I want it to, I have 6 kids. This is a 7th kid, it's got to be special. It's got to feel special. Everything's got to work out. Right. But this is the original. And then we launched, I don't know if you guys have tried it or seen it, is Bumbu XO, which is the black bottle.
Love it. Yeah. Love it.
Right. Smooth.
And that one's so wicked. It's completely different than the original in that I wanted something that's big and heavy, like a cigar or like dark chocolate. And that's what that is. It's big and bold. 2 different consumers, or it's someone like me who wants one thing one day and another thing the next day. So something different. And then we launched this one this past year, which is Bumbu Cream, which is just on fire.
Yeah,
this is
ginger ale.
I haven't tasted that one yet.
Skip dinner, go directly to this, and you're begun tonight.
Right. And it's like when I first tasted Bumbu, I'm gonna be honest with you, Brett. I wasn't a big rum type of guy.
Love it.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really I'm Puerto Rican. I wasn't even into Bacardi or anything like that. But when I tasted Bumbu, I love liquor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an alcoholic, but I love to drink. You understand what I'm saying? And I like to taste new things. And when I tasted Bumbu, I was like, wow, this is great. And I brought the bottle to the venue where I had a residency at in Brooklyn. And I told the bartender, hey, this is what it is. Read the back of the bottle so you can know what you're dealing with, and make me a drink. And the gentleman made me a mango drink with the Bumbu inside. Oh my God. It was like a frozen drink. After that, I was hooked. And then I got the black bottle.
That's what I first tasted that.
Right. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you again. I was a big fan of a different brand cognac, and I was drinking that all the time. But when I drunk that XO Bumbu, I said, I'm not drinking any other XO bottle but this Bumbu. This Bumbu is official. It's strong. It's smooth. It tastes great. Man, that Bumbu itself.
And what you hit on is that's the ultimate goal of, at least the way I look at brand building, is get somebody to like something they don't normally drink. They never really tried before. They haven't experienced. You know,
Right.
if I line up brown spirits, whiskey and scotch and
Right.
cognac and rum, I think rum tastes the best. That was my goal. I think it's the best tasting. It's the most versatile.
Right.
But I wanted something big and bold and unique, and that's the original. And then I wanted something, like I said, like a cigar. That's XO. But what you're talking about is exactly what's happened. This little brand, where everyone told us, you know, for those, you know what grinding means. You know, when we first introduced this, our industry told us, don't do it. Go do tequila. Go do the hot thing. No, we like this. This is now the #1 premium rum in the United States. There's a reason for it.
Right.
It's #1 in Canada, and Latvia, and in Jamaica, in the UK, in Belgium, all because of word of mouth and the taste. And it's exactly how you described it. Boy, I've never had this. I tried it. I love it now.
Right. And you know, I'm real big on marketing, on talking, on selling, brands that I'm a part of. And, you know, anytime I do a party, an event, you know, I always make sure I have, Bumbu Vion, with me, so I can at least have the management staff or somebody who works in a venue to taste it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what do you drink? Oh, you drink this? Okay, why don't you just taste this? You don't have to love it. You don't have to like it. Just taste it and tell me what you think. I just want your feedback on it. And the XO and the regular Bumbu, I've gotten some great feedback on it, and people love it, and they're asking for it. So I do my best to make sure that I can point them in the right direction. The cream I haven't tasted yet, which I want to get to. But
I'll make sure you get the cream. You can mix it with Bumbu. It's even better. You can mix it. We have a consumer came up with a recipe. It's called the Billionaire. It's mixing Vion and cream together, half and half, and it's just to die for. But the way it's neat to have this conversation, because the way you talk about it is exactly what the goal is. It's like you want to make other people. It's a neat thing to get people to try. It's like music. You got to check out this artist. This artist is so cool. This song is so dope. And once you introduce somebody to somebody else and they're like, wow, this is really good, that's building. That's building. Like it's telling a story, and it's repeating that story over and over.
Right. And it looks good. It looks good. You did a great job with how it looks. It's presentable. It looks nice in a bucket with some ice, and then the lights coming out when it comes out. It's a nice bottle, and I'm really big on, my table looking nice and my section looking nice. I'm really big on that when I do events here in New York. I would like to move on to Vion. And I heard this in one of your interviews, if you pronounced it the right way. I was calling it Below. I was calling it Below.
I told him we got to cut that out.
Right, I was calling it Below, but it's Vion.
It's definitely Vion.
It's Vion. And that bottle, when I got introduced to it, I was really, really amazed that that's a VSOP cognac.
Yep.
And that's very important, because for people who drink other brands, they don't even know that it's VS or VSOP. They don't know unless they see it directly on the label in the front of the bottle. And when I saw that and I read up on Vion, I was just really amazed on the taste and what you can mix that with. And I love different things. And my lady as well, she loves the Vion, she loves the Bumbu. So, but that black bottle looks amazing. What was your thought process when you made that bottle, and what was your inspiration behind that design of that logo? Let's talk about Vion.
Everything, again, it has to tell stories, and the package, the name, the look and feel. Oh, my son.
Hey, what's up?
The look and feel. Everything's got to tell a story. Vion, in the 14th century, there was a poet. His name was Francois Villon from France. He was an iconoclast. He was a badass. He went against the grain. He fought, government. He fought police. He just did things different. And he was our inspiration. Ultimately, he was killed by a monk, but with a dagger, and had to flee Paris, and was ultimately killed. Hi, Bel. And
Mom, Dad, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? You good?
I'll be right there. But he's our patriarch, and the word. Some people think that the word villain comes from the name Vion, but that's the inspiration. You want that feeling to embody something, and that's what to us this brand meant in the cognac category. Doing something different, doing something bold, doing something against the big guys in the category. Putting it in a bottle, this black bottle, which is so cool and unique. Again, no paper on it. The dagger and the snake is our symbols. Right. It's so badass looking.
Right.
It is.
To the taste is, again, my whole thing is I'm not the big liquor companies, and my job is to help support and get the brand out there. And if people see it and want to try it, then I'm halfway there. Now I win once they taste. My job is to make it taste better than the competition, and that's what Vion is. It's better, it's different, it's unique, it's got so many different characteristics going on. But this is our youngest child, Vion. It's a great brand. It's a great brand. I'm glad you like it.
So, Brett, how in depth are you into actually the logos of these bottles? The actual, the like you said, when there's no paper on them, the color of the bottle. How much in depth are you into these type of things with the business?
Everything matters to me. This cap, if you hold it, it's actually heavy. It's weighted. It's weighted on purpose. I don't want anything cheap. There's logos on the top of it, embossed. There's logos debossed in the bottom. There's the name is embossed on the side of the bottle. Every little detail is 100% myself or my brother, a couple other people in the company, and that's it. And then what we'll do is, if you were in our office in New York, and I got 2 new brands coming this year, I'll taste you on them. I'll let you try them. I want to get your feedback. The actual.
Any vodka?
Something's coming.
Okay. I'm a vodka guy. I'm sorry. I'm a vodka guy.
No, that's okay. But that is an example. I'd have you try it. I'd have you feel it and experience it. That's how we've done it with all our brands. Is kind of experience. I want honest answers, and I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to get a marketing group telling me what to do.
Right. Makes sense.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Brett, don't even worry about it. I'll be the same way when I do interviews at home.
Yeah, we came from a long quarantine, so we know exactly what it's like to be at home.
Salute to all the fathers.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. But Prezi, to answer you, we're 100% involved because it matters to me, and I want the consumer to know I believe in our brands. We've got, and you didn't ask about it, but McQueen, I don't know if you've tried our gin.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I want to really focus on.
I won't get ahead.
We got time. I forgot to tell you that we got time. We here till 9 o'clock. If we got to go past 9 p.m., we here for you today, Brett. This is about the sovereign brands tonight. It's all about you guys tonight.
That's how we take it off.
Thank you.
So go ahead. You was talking about the.
Yeah, you said
I finished. Ask your question. I finished on Vion. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So my last question for Vion. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. My last question for Vion is the taste. What was the process like to come to a conclusion and say this is what it's going to taste like? Because it has like a caramel type of taste, and it's really unique. It's a unique taste, and I love it. I like it.
It's the taste is, again, what we always try to do is look at our competition, and the best way to describe me as a drinker is I don't spit. I drink everything, meaning I want to taste it. I want to feel it. And our goal with this brand was something that's unique and different in the category, something that's approachable. And what you often find in the cognac category is you're mixing it. And to me, anything you mix is going to taste good because you're mixing it. You're mixing with Coke. You're mixing with anything. It's going to taste good because what else you're putting in it. The goal of a great brand, straight.
Drink it straight.
How does it taste straight? How does it taste with no rocks? Just straight. With a snifter. That's it. That was our goal. So that's how we look at things. That's how we came up with this, based on, and it's trial and error. It's trying different things. This was this is years in the making, 8 years probably at least we worked on this brand, getting to that taste profile that we wanted, getting the proof we wanted, the aging we wanted, So all those things together collectively kind of makes it up. And then we trust our instincts that this is the product we want to bring to the market.
Right. Nice to hear. Let's go back to you, Press. My apologies.
No. I just wanted to, again, that was one of my, as I heard him discuss so much about the actual, again, the bottles and how detailed, I've seen, I was amazed. I'm not a champagne drinker, but how Trace was describing the bamboo was the same way I was introduced to the champagne. I wasn't big on champagne, but what attracted me to even drink Bel-Air or try Bel-Air was the black bottle. And I believe you had another bottle previous to that, which was the gold bottle, I believe.
Yep.
But when the black bottle, when it started to come out, it was just like, okay, this is just this. Everyone, it looks cool to have. And now it's like, okay, let me give it a try, how it tastes. Yep. And then again, for me, at the time, I was like, wow, this is a really good champagne, and it looks cool to have. This is a win-win here, as a first time really drinker of champagne. This was definitely the way how I got into the brand, and then obviously just being outside, getting into the other ones. The bamboo is outside everywhere I go now, and obviously, like you were saying earlier, the Vion is good for the ladies, man.
And what's neat about where we're going as a company, Prezi, is the way you're describing it. It's like our goal is, I like bamboo. Well, maybe I should try Bel-Air. And let me see what that tastes like. Or I like Vion. Oh, maybe I should try McQueen, So it's that idea of we're trying to bring family into spirits, and this idea that these brands are growing up together, and there's something you like with one. Maybe I never tried champagne, or maybe I never tried rum. So now you're willing to, because you're accepting the family mentality.
You're accepting the brand, absolutely.
That's the way we were going. And that we're trying to, and everything we do is premium. So we're trying to educate the market that there's better products out there that are not mass produced by big giant companies. We can do it better. It's a better product, and it wins every time you taste it.
Right. I mean, I think when it comes to when we do our events, I don't know if it's because I'm loud and energetic, but it's a great marketing tool when you're trying to get somebody to drink. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten this gentleman to drink some things that you don't drink. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, just try one time. Come on, man. Take this shot or drink it with something. So, I've always gotten people to, taste the brands and be, give me that feedback. And we really appreciate you giving us the inside information on each particular bottle that we thus far have spoken about.
And it's great because if I use I'm pointing into the gin now. I'm sorry.
We're gonna get to that right now.
Let's get to it. We get into the
McQueen.
I love. Hold the hands.
Oh, never shares.
He doesn't. He will. I promise.
Yeah, I go through it. I know.
That's what's up.
I know.
But even the gin, I was never a gin drinker, and I started getting into gins. And what typically happens with me is I start engrossing myself into a product, and I started doing this with gin and trying to figure out, okay, I like this. I can do something with this. I think I can make it better than the Beefeaters and the Tanquerays and everybody else out there. We finished this product. I thought it was amazing. One of the first people I tasted, because I knew he was a big gin drinker, was Wiz Khalifa. Wiz is like, okay, let's do a shot. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shot? He's like, yeah, let's do shots. And I never thought, how do you do a shot of gin? Oh my God, I did it. It's amazing. It's better than tequila. But that experience of having somebody else kind of take you through their story of how they consume a brand or what they do with it makes you rethink things. But that's the beauty of this. The whole industry is you're trying something different. You're taking somebody else's experience and making it your own. Now I do shots of gin all the time.
I've never heard of that before. You just said that. Shots of gin. I've never heard
all the time. It's amazing. It's better than tequila. It's amazing. Right. Or at least our gin. How's that?
Right. So talking about McQueen, another, you hit another home run with the bottle. What was the thought process? What was the inspiration behind that beautiful looking bottle right there?
it started, well, one is from the product itself. We wanted to do it really different. For those of you who don't know, 90% of all gins are made in the UK. We didn't want to do that. Why does everything have to be made there? Why can't it be somewhere else? We started working backwards based on botanicals. We ended up with 21 different botanicals, and the best place in the world to find your best botanicals is in Latin America.
Wow.
And we ended up producing this in a little town outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil called Jundiaí. We used 2 different distillation methods, a macerization and vapor infusion, 21 different botanicals. The brand is called McQueen and the Violet Fog. It's to me, it feels old school rock and roll. It's
Right.
machine. It's got that.
Right.
It's a big, bold name, but at the end of the day, it's McQueen. To me, it reminds me of. I'm old enough to remember, and I was a huge fan of Steve McQueen. Real badass. But the eye and the crown is our logo. I'm big into logos. I love things that just stand out, that speak to me. There's a little bit of Illuminati. Our cap is big and
you just slip that in there.
Yeah, cool.
A little bit.
If you notice the back of the bottle, and it just shows, I'm very anal. I want everything to be perfect. I think we're the only brand in the whole world that has a poem on the back of the bottle. It's a poem.
I noticed that. Yeah,
it's a poem about this rock and roll band called McQueen and the Violet Fog, and it tells a story. But everything is bespoke and unique, and it's a kick-ass brand. It's in 30 countries. It got the highest rating out of our competition. In this case was Hendrix. We beat them, which was great. But it's another, it's neat to see these brands grow. This is a younger brand, but it's growing phenomenally. I think we're the second fastest premium gin growing in the US right now.
Wow.
I think you've hit the nail on not only understanding that you need a good drink, but you also need a good marketing, and not just regular marketing, like you said, with the big companies put behind and just put it out there as where you were really taking the time to, even down to, like you said, the stories, and how each bottle kind of like has a story about, how it even got started. Then you go into the detail of the bottle, and then you open the bottle and get the detail of the taste. It's a trickle down effect, and you've hit every nail on the head. And I think that goes a long way, like you said, with the family brand. People when we get forced things, and we feel as if, this is just being forced upon me. Yeah, we might take it, but we're not taking it genuinely, right? When we actually get a chance to, like you said, look at this bottle and read the poem on the back of it, and then and feel or have something to talk about when I get the black bottle of the Bel-Air, because it's black and you don't know how much liquor is left in there. You know what I'm saying? You're like, why you didn't tell me you drank all of the last of it? I can't see it, But again, you get all of these things where it's a family vibe, it's a family feeling for the brand. And again, man, that's just amazing that you put that much effort into it, when I don't think that these big brands, even think about half of that.
To me, it matters. Every little detail, I don't want to launch something unless I believe in it, unless the story's there, the package there, the name is there, the liquid, the identity.
Right.
I got to believe in this stuff, because how can I talk to you guys if it's not real? How can I have that conversation? You gotta, it's, at the end of the day, if you love what you're doing, this stuff's it's supposed to be, there's supposed to be long stories. There's supposed to be creativity. They're supposed to be ever evolving. And that's what these brands have. Bel-Air too. Bel-Air's our oldest brand now.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Sorry.
We're going to get to that, Brett.
Sorry.
I wanted to tell you a quick story about McQueen.
Yep.
So I took McQueen over, and just for the record, we are drinking Bel-Air. We just got to drink it with a top and a lid, because we're in a real studio, and we have a bunch of studio equipment. We don't want nothing to get messed up, so we drinking it in a lid. We drinking Bel-Air rosé. Right. And excuse my heavy breathing. I'm asthmatic. I'm chronic.
No.
Excuse
alcohol
that. Right. So I took McQueen over to a brand new venue in Queens, and I brought the bottle in. They allowed me to. Of course, I have to, do the right business move, and ask, hey, can I bring this in? I want you guys to taste this product. This is a new gin. And the bartender, I posted the picture up on my page. The bartender did something with gold with a gold sprinkle.
Yep.
But it looked like a 24 karat gold shot, but he threw some in there, a little lime, a little something, some other stuff, but it tasted so good. And the manager from the venue was like, hey, let me know how we can get these brands into our venue. And I was like, hey, talk to your distributor, see what they can do. But if you can't get any great responses or good direction, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But they loved it, and they actually want to get the product in that venue in Queens. So maybe we could talk about that offline, about that. But they loved the drink, and we was drinking that. I had Graf, who's from Queens. He was actually somewhat part of Wiz Khalifa's Taylor gang. He drinks dark, and he was drinking the McQueen. He loved it. We had a birthday party. They loved it. So it's really a good tasting gin. And I'm not a big gin drinker, but now that I tasted that, hey, I don't mind drinking that all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that's a good drink. That's a good smooth gin.
And
great job on it.
We're and again, the goal is I'm not trying to change your habits, but if you're going to drink a category, it's got to be our brand because it's better than everybody else. If you're in that mood if you're a gin drinker, it's for you. If you're not, but you want to try it or you want that go-to martini, this is it. This is it. But it says something, and I think that's where it always feels good. If me or my team can walk into a bar or go to a sommelier or go to the bartender and say, look, just taste it. Just taste it. That's the easiest. So a great example, and going back to bamboo for a second, we're in 70 countries with bamboo, 70 countries.
Nice.
Our biggest single market in the world is Canada.
Wow.
No one from my company has ever been there. Not once. It's all word of mouth taste. They love the taste, but that shows you it's a sign, like it's working, it's happening. And again, taste always wins over. It's the same thing in music. If you've got a great voice, you've got something special. You got something special, and that's what we have is that voice in the bottle.
Right. You said something earlier, and you said I'm not an entertainer. I'm not into music and stuff. But you've realized also the part which I would consider part of the marketing or could just be honestly genuine, But either way, however it goes, you found a way, right, to coexist with the entertainment industry throughout your brands.
Right.
How can you talk about that?
Definitely, and it always gets back to being authentic and not forcing anything. And in this case, authentic means, look, I'm a huge hip hop fan. I'm a huge fan of artists. I want to work with people. It goes back 20 years now. I want to work with people who we see eye to eye on my brands, nothing else. Like they got to love it and support it and be there for it. And it's real and it's authentic. So it's not based on, boy, who's hot today? And let me jump on them or let's see if we can work with them. I don't want that. I want people who just live and breathe the space, understand the brands. How can I help them? How can they help me? And it's a win-win scenario. So it can be everybody from big artists like Rick Ross and Khaled and Wayne and Steve Aoki or Post Malone to up-and-coming artists like Ayo and Teo or when G Herbo was coming up or A Boogie was coming up. What everyone sees eye to eye in this organic way, and that's who I want to be involved with, where there's a win-win scenario going on.
Right. Hey, Brett, do you see yourself maybe dabbling to the industry, maybe music industry, or is that not something that you're not really interested? It's just the like you said, the liquor first.
It's a great question. Where I sit, there's no question we're dabbling in it, but dabbling isn't necessarily, it's using my resources to help fund the artists. That's what I'm doing.
Management.
So, and not on the management side, but more, if I can, we've done, so right now, for example, we're doing a lot of work in Africa with artists and bringing African artists and U.S. artists together and collaborating on albums, collaborating on songs, and we'll help fund their record. We'll help fund their video. are we an owner in the music? Not at all, but we're benefiting and they're benefiting because we're funding the things for them.
You're investing into the music culture.
Exactly.
Right.
So the more we can do this and be there for, especially for the up and coming artists, that's interesting. That I like, because that's where you can make a bigger impact, because everyone's focusing on, the 1%. I want to focus on the other 99 because I think they have the potential to be the next one. You know what I mean?
Right. Makes sense.
But we're doing that every day. So, when Post Malone, when he had White Iverson was the only song he had, he was a brand ambassador for us. We loved it. We worked with him. We want to support him. Now look at him.
Right.
So it's being there for artists, whether they're big or when they're or getting there. That's a role we can play.
Right. No, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's dope. That's nice. That's definitely dope.
Bring it all together. Artists like to drink. I'm sure when they out promoting their shows.
Right.
I mean, like you said, you being a lover of the music also is a genuine feel, and you love to drink too. So again, I mean, I watched your interviews with these artists, and it goes well. Again, great aesthetics, and you guys have to drink and see it.
But it's got to be, I remember I met Currency for the first time. We just clicked. Like, that's a relationship. Like, that's what I want to have happen. I want to meet these people. I want to know them personally. How can I help you? What can I do? Because I know they're going to be there for me. So let's see what we can do together where both sides benefit.
Makes sense.
So we're having a lot of fun with this.
I have to tip my hat off to you, because listening to you in these last, couple of minutes that we've had you online here, I'm just amazed that, an owner of multiple liquor brands, brands itself, is, so organically involved in his own company, so organically involved in the hip hop culture and moving the culture forward, whether it's the spirit, the spirit company or the hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is so organic, and I've never heard or ever seen another owner or CEO on any podcast, on any live show, talking the way you talk and helping to move different cultures, whether it's the liquor culture, champagne culture, the hip hop culture forward. And I just got to tip my hat off to you on that, man. I respect you so much on that.
And there's so much to be done, and there's so many opportunities. And I don't know. I just see I look at it simply. The bigger we get, the more resources I have to do more. So that's how I look at it. We just did a giant shoot, and I asked Rick Ross, I asked Lil Wayne, I asked Wiz Khalifa, and I asked DJ Khaled if they'd all come down to Miami. And I wasn't even going to be there because I had to be in Europe. It happened in November. If we'd all of them would get together and sit down and just talk about the brands and talk about what the brands mean to them and what we mean to them. Done in a heartbeat. Done. Right. That's organic. That's real. That's, getting people to pull up is hard.
Right.
When it's easy, you're doing something right.
Right. And really quick, if you don't mind me asking, I really want to talk about some of your marketing tactics. Like, when I'm on Instagram, when I'm on social media, I see artists taking pictures in a bathtub with the bottles around, or in the office, or just somewhere that that represents Bel-Air. Like, what was the thought process behind that? Like, is that something that happened organically? Like, do people have to go to a specific location to take those type of pictures? Like, what was the thought process behind that?
It's such a the way I would describe it is how we describe ourselves. We're constantly evolving. Right. So we originally had and what you're speaking to, for example, is you're seeing a lot of images and stuff coming out of our New York space.
Okay.
It's an office. And it's now, over the past couple of years, it's evolved into this living space that's constantly changing and constantly adapting. And my whole thing is try stuff. So we add to it in this evolving way where we're giving people a place to go where they can be creative, where they can try things. We're doing it now in Atlanta. We have 11,000 square feet compound that'll be done by the end of the year, which will be a a music studio, will be a video production, all to give free to the artists. Let them have a place to go, let them have a place to hang out, let them have a place to be creative. That's what we're building. And to me, the brands are kind of the centerpiece of it because, you know, we have a lot of followers on Instagram, which is just great. And I love it. And it's very organic. But what I noticed about all of them is they're holding bottles. People hold the bottles and show them off. And they're doing it for the same reason I would do it. It's a trophy. I've done something. I've achieved something. Something's happened. I've made it. That's what the brands represent. And that's what we want to have them represent going forward. And that's why I think a lot of influencer artists want to be involved because they feel that same energy. Right.
Definitely. I feel you. I like to move on. We like to move on to talk about Bel-Air. And I really want to start from the bottom. I've been a fan of your product since it first came out. And my first favorite Bel-Air bottle, I'm not even going to lie to you. I have to ask you this question. I've been planning to ask you this question. My first favorite Bel-Air bottle was the Bel-Air Black and Gold bottle, the Brut. That was one of your original Bel-Air bottles. Am I right?
No,
it wasn't.
No.
Okay, that's the first one I bought. Was the black with the gold trim, the black, the black and the gold. And it was called Brut, and it was my favorite because I love champagne, Brut champagne. And I saw that you guys don't have it anymore. Like I bought a bottle. My lady bought me a bottle for New Year's. And it just so happens that the liquor store next to her job had one bottle left of that old school bottle, and they bought it, and we drank it for New Year's. But what was behind that Bel-Air Brut Gold? Did that turn into the Bel-Air Gold or the white?
So let me tell you what happened. So the history on Bel-Air.
Okay.
I like to beat to our own drum. And what we decided early on when we introduced this brand was in champagne, you have Brut. Brut is the biggest part of the champagne category. It's a style. It's dry. It's the gold liquid. Then you have a demi. Then after you come out with your Brut, you come out with a demi sec or a blanc de blanc, and then a rosé. Those are the smaller ones. And our view was, no, let's go rosé first. Let's make a name for ourselves in rosé, and let's start there. And what's funny about that is my industry, when we went and showed our distributors, they all said, "Are you nuts? You're crazy. How can you launch a rosé first? You got to do a Brut." And we said, no, we don't want to do that. We want to make a name for rosé. Men love rosé. Women love rosé. It's a global thing. Everybody likes it. And we put it in a black bottle, and they told us, "You're nuts." For the same reason, Prezi, you said, like, you can't see the liquid. And they said, don't do that. You can't compete with the Moets and Veuves. Well, this is the single largest rosé now in the United States, the black bottle. This is where we started. It's in 80 plus countries, this brand. And we always knew, Tracy, we were going to come out with a Brut and other styles. And we came out, and most people don't realize this, but you picked it up on it. We made a decision early on where, boy, everybody knows this as the black bottle, and it became a thing. Consumers were talking about it. There were black bottle girls, black bottle boys. And we figured, you know what? When we come out with our Brut, let's come out with a black bottle, the black bottle Brut. Let's be black bottle. And then we realized we came out with the Brut, and people didn't notice it because it looked like the black bottle rosé. And it was very few people who realized what it was. And we decided, okay, let's come out with the Bel-Air Lux first. And this is the sweeter side of the Brut category. This is
it's not the same. So it's different taste?
Definitely different taste. So hold on one second. So this came out second. This is our second release. This is enormous. It's an enormous brand. Taste is amazing. It's a little bit sweeter. So it falls into the demi-sec category. It's a little bit sweeter, Bel-Air Lux. Then we came out with this, which is the Brut. This is literally what you'd like the best. This is Bel-Air Gold. This is our Brut. This is the mainstay. This will be the single biggest brand in our portfolio. This. Then after that, we came out with our Rosé Lux, which is this bottle, which is a little bit. So we've got a dry champagne, meaning and then a sweet champagne, and then we've got a dry rosé and a sweet rosé. This would be our sweeter rosé, Bel-Air Lux.
Right.
So those are our 4 styles.
Before you get to the special one, the new one, let's wait on that. I just want to finish with this, right?
Those are the 4. It's the single thing about it's crazy. It's about to become the single biggest sparkling champagne in the United States, which is just amazing. Coming from the point of view where our industry said you shouldn't do this, it's not going to work. And now look, 8 years later, and we're giving the likes of Moet and Veuve the run in their money.
Right. So you mentioned Lux. You have 2 bottles. You have a pink bottle that's Lux and white.
Yep.
Why Lux?
Well, 2 ways to look at it. The Lux side of our brands would be the sweeter side.
Okay.
And Lux, the name Lux comes from luxury. We wanted that high end. We wanted it to be different. So these would be our 2 sweeter sides. And then these 2 would be the drier sides of our category, of our portfolio.
And I'm just asking because I want to make sure that our viewers and listeners, since we own so many different platforms, we're not sure if there are people who never drunk Bel-Air. So I'm asking you these questions for people who never drunk Bel-Air. I'm a big Bel-Air fan, so I know what you're talking about.
And it's about taste. So if you like sweeter, if you like rosé and you like sweeter, then you should gravitate to the pink bottle. If you like drier rosé, so less sweet, you should gravitate towards the black bottle. If you like traditional brut, you should definitely gravitate towards the gold bottle, Bel-Air Gold. If you like a little sweeter style of traditional, then you got to do the Bel-Air Lux.
Right. So the Bel-Air the Bel-Air Brut black bottle, was that discontinued, or you said that turned into the gold? That's really the gold.
That is this. It's exactly this.
So it's not a different taste. It's the same.
Not at all.
It's
same
just
exact.
a different look.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I knew something. I was having this argument with somebody. I was like, it got to be something. I don't think they discontinued it. I just think they discontinued the look of it. But I forgot who I asked. But
you got a great memory, and it shows you know the brand.
I love that Bel-Air Brut, so I guess that's the reason why I drink a lot of the gold. For my birthdays, and if you look at our events, we have a lot of the gold. I guess that's the reason why, because I always like the black Brut bottle, and it looks beautiful too. I always like the black. So going to the current stage of Bel-Air, you have your most special Bel-Air now, the Bel-Air Blue. Ooh, right? I really want us to get into the story
Blue bottle
of the blue bottle. I want to talk about why blue. Why, the taste behind blue. Like I want to get into the whole story. Let's talk about it, right? Woo.
It's gosh, it's so it's the prettiest thing.
Eye-popping. It's beautiful.
I call it our supermodel. She doesn't take a bad picture.
Yeah.
She makes me look good.
Yeah.
Bel-Air Blue, I want, it's amazing. You didn't ask this side, but I'll tell you this side, the first 6 years of my business sucked. It's absolutely sucked. Getting to this place has been a wonderful story. But the first 6 years sucked because I didn't trust my gut and my instincts, and I didn't believe. So if someone told me, don't launch rosé, you should do brut, don't put it in a black bottle, I would have changed it. I would have launched brut first. I would have put it in a clear bottle, and I would have done exactly that. If they would have said, don't do bamboo rum, you should focus on tequila. Okay, I would have done that. We trust our instincts, and this is why, if you're going into business or going into music or doing your own podcast or on the radio, you got to trust yourself. We wanted something different. We wanted to create a unique brand that doesn't exist. We wanted a profile and a taste that was unlike a rosé and unlike a brut. We wanted a color that was just spectacular, that spoke in the bottle, yet that when you poured it in the glass was like the Caribbean. It's that beautiful blue water. We wanted just something truly unique. And there was a lot of back and forth if we should introduce this. Luckily, we did, because it's the single hottest wine or spirit in the United States.
Sold out everywhere I know.
Everywhere. We saw retailers buying it on Drizzly and reselling it for $300 a bottle, 10 times the price.
I don't even want to get into that.
We'd have retailers put stacks on the floor, and before they could finish the stack, it's gone. It's an amazing taste. It's everything came together perfectly, whether it's Gucci Mane launching it for us, which was he's diamonds for us, to the color, to the liquid, to the package, something different and unique. It just shows you got to trust your instincts. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, fine. At least you tried it.
Right.
That's how I feel. But Bel-Air Blue is, if you hadn't tried it, keep looking for it. It's different. You can drink it straight. You can, it's great for cocktails. It's got everything going on, guys.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we've drank it. We've had it. We've had it on the show. We've had it featured on the show as well too.
Right.
But we love it. We love the Bel-Air Blue. I think from a marketing standpoint and from a DJ standpoint, I'm always in the venues and stuff like that. You changed the look of champagne. Like when people buy champagne in the club, in the bar, in the lounge, they don't go for the brut or the gold. They want to have rosé. They want to have the color pink in their hand. And now they want to have that blue. Champagne is not the same no more unless you have that blue. And you changed the look of champagne.
They come out with the sparkles
in the clubs, man.
You come out with the sparkles on the side.
Yeah, you changed that, man.
And part of that is, it's a great feeling, because to me, it's like with the clubs are so important. They're so important for music. They're so important for lifestyle. They're so important for the energy. And my whole thing is, I don't want to wait for them to include us. I want to give them reasons to have the party. Right. I want to give them reasons to make it bigger, to make it last longer. That's what things like Bel-Air does, or that's what Blue does, or that's what our materials do. Now you have there's more energy brought to the table, and that's hopefully our inspiration for what we're trying to accomplish. Is, wow, something else is going on now. Like something bigger is going to happen, something better is going to happen. Let's use these brands.
Right.
Brett, you spoke on the liquors and you spoke on the influence on music. And I was telling Trace earlier, this was a big interview for me because personally, I'm a manager. So again, I'm kind of like you. I'm not really into the entertainment stuff. I coexist with it because that's part of my job, but I gotta mingle with it. Sure. But Trace has a different aspect. He's a DJ. He gets to see the bottles aesthetically outside. He gets to get them ordered. And for me, I'd rather be the cut guy, just making sure everything is being handled well. I have a brand called Slackers Moving Forward. It's a nonprofit organization, and when I started this brand in 2012, everyone told me that having a brand that's dealing with promoting kids and promoting entrepreneurship shouldn't have anything to do with Slackers. Like I shouldn't have the name Slackers to do with the brand. And I said it's the oxymoron of it. Slackers Moving Forward is what I'm aiming for. And today, at that time, it was a hard startup, and today I've been able to raise and give out scholarships throughout my community throughout the years. And I say all of that to say you've put out a lot of entrepreneurship into these brands, and you could have chosen. You said it's a family business. You could have chosen to do anything else. You could have maybe done science. But you said you like to drink, and you still could have not chosen to have this as a brand. And even when you said earlier, when things were failing, when people were telling you not to do stuff, and what is the entrepreneurial side that kept you and your brothers, and what kept you guys just in that spirit of just fighting through it? Just for somebody like me who is still seeing and working through with people to make a dream happen, and make something happen when it's like you shouldn't be doing that, or that's not going to work, or that's not right.
Everyone has a different story, and I think back. I remember there was a moment for me where we had investors. They wanted to wind up the company because it wasn't working, and I remember calling my mother and telling her that this was happening. She knew it was happening and this is what's going to happen. And she's crying and she's like, Brett, and I remember saying to her, if I could just survive, meaning just have enough money to live and keep doing what I'm doing, I'm happy because I found something I love. And she's like, Brett, I'll sell my rings for you. I'll do anything, which was amazing. But luckily, persevered and kept going. But that moment of realizing, like, I'm not, I don't know. This is why I like hearing, and I do my own little series called Self-Made, where I talk to people. I don't like hearing the success. I like hearing the shit people went through.
Me too.
And I can relate to that.
Me too.
Which we don't go through that.
The struggle side is the side that I think is inspirational because it shows it wasn't easy. It was hard.
Right.
And for me, it is so many little things, trusting my instincts, making it not about the money, because the money will come. It'll come. But there's no rush in doing what you love and constantly pivoting and constantly trying things and recognize you can justify anything in life. The key is don't justify it.
Right.
Analyze it. Was it successful or was it not? So you decide never to do it again and try it over. So I think it's lots of little things, but I go back to the fact that, just by slowing it down. And once I found something I love, that was the end. That was the end. I don't need anything quickly anymore. I don't think long-term, meaning like, a big fat plan of, okay, I'm going to do this today and this tomorrow. I don't know. All I know is if I make money today, I'm here tomorrow.
Right.
And I can keep doing that over and over and over again.
Right.
Thank
you.
That's dope. And
thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Right. And I'm a big fan of your Self-Made show on your page. And if you don't mind, I like to give you a quick little insight on this show. In 2015, I quit my job. I was working for a big company called Morgan Stanley here in New York. And I quit my job to go on tour with Graf. 2014, I was part of a show on Power 105 with someone, and I was playing the background. So 2015 came, and DTF Radio gave me an opportunity to have my own show. And at the time, I started it with friends and people who I was working with. And for some reason, whether they lived far enough, they couldn't get to the studio, or whatever the case was, there were people outside of that circle who didn't think that this show, the Fix Show, was going to work, and they wanted to take time off of it, and they just didn't think. And next thing you know, just to cut the story short, 6 years later, we're one of the biggest, dopest shows on this station, and it's one of the biggest stations in New York for online radio. And we've had everybody from Little Mama to Ron Browse to people who've worked on, the Blueprint. We've had everybody, comedians. We've broken so many artists, so many different, companies here on this show that I was told multiple times that this is the first stop for any upcoming company or artist to come on. And when you talk about self-made, I gotta say we're definitely self-made, because we kept this show raw. We didn't follow any other, anybody else's blueprint. We came up with our own. We kept it raw. Even when people wanted me to change the format of the show and wanted me to do certain things, I stuck along with it. And I found people like Prez who would stick by me and stick with me and help me grow this brand, which he has done tremendously within a year time. And I just want to say, man, being self-made and having that term in my mind, I got to thank you for coming up with that show, because it really does inspire me, and it helps me continue to do what I do here with this show and continue to work with people like Prez who inspire me to do so many other things outside of the show. So thank you for that, man.
Yeah, and I think even me as an outsider looking at you guys, I just assume the show exists, and you've always been successful and it's always worked.
Right.
And I think that's where I'm coming from, where that idea of just sharing your story and letting people hear it. There's somebody out there who is, 20 years old, 30 years old, me, who doesn't know how they want to do, didn't know what they want to do. We're afraid to try things. And everything seems harder. It looks like everyone's got it easy. Like it just happens easy. It doesn't happen easy. And if you recognize it's not easy, or the shit people go through, that's the stuff that's motivating for me. And that's what I want to hear. And I think it can resonate for that next person who's coming along.
Right. And it's really important. And I really want to go back to something you mentioned. You said we didn't ask a question. And the reason why we didn't ask a question, I'm going to be 100% with you. We grown men here. I'm going to be 100% with you. I spoke to Prez, and I said, Prez, I did some research. I looked at some of his past interviews, and I feel like we should tackle really talking specifically about each brand, because we want our viewers and our listeners to really know the story behind every bottle. You know what I'm saying? For those people who don't want to try anything or wouldn't want to try, at least know the story so it can probably inspire you to try the product. Like, I really wanted to get behind that. So that's the reason why we haven't asked
shout out to you guys.
Questions,
Shout out to you guys for letting me do that. That's a first. And there's nothing better than sharing the stories of the brands and why and how and there's blood, sweat, and tears in these things. And I literally, if you were part of my company listening to me talk, you'd hear me, and everybody knows I talk about them. They're our children. And we got to get them to walk and get them to talk and make sure they look good and make sure they can stand up on their own. And one day they'll be out in the world, 6, 7, 8 years later, kind of doing their thing. That's the goal, but you got to start.
That's a real thing. That's a real metaphor. It's a real thing. My mom, like you said, my mom is a very big influencer in my career and my path of entrepreneurship. And again, she's just like you, your mom. She would sell her rings and whatever to do for me to pursue my goals. So to hear that, you gotta be able to know that that's your baby. She would always tell me, whatever you want to do, that's your baby. Like, treat it like so.
And what I think is neat is, and again, if I think back to some of the people I interviewed, and there's a Rhapsody, Rhapsody.
I love Rhapsody.
Who I love. And I remember her telling me, there was a point where she's like, Brett, as long as I had money to get to the studio, I was perfect. Like those moments mean everything. Or I remember talking to, it could be a completely different one where somebody sees something in you that you don't see. And there's that moment. So I remember talking to Warren Sapp, the football player, and Warren was recruited out of high school as a tight end. And then Coach O said, look, I'm going to make you an all-American defensive end. Like, he believed in him. Like there are moments that people have in life where it wasn't just easy. Something changed, something clicked, something happened, and they kept going. And that's the shit I like.
Right. Shout out to Brett, man, with the
shout out to Brett.
You're heavy with the name drop too. He's outside. But if you haven't noticed, Brett is outside. He's outside with the blue bottles, with the black bottles. He's outside with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And again, I've been through the YouTubes and the Instagrams, and everybody loves you, man. I can appreciate the humbleness in every interview I watch. Every time I see you outside with people and just the interactions, nothing seems ungenuine. Like you said, nothing seems marketing. Like nothing you do, or even the interviews, like they don't seem marketable. They're just like, hey, I'm having a conversation, and that's so humbling, man. Again, I always tell people, for me, when I'm in that space, I want to be that guy. I want to be that person that always feel that I'm not above anything or anybody. Again, we know for sure you don't have to do interviews. We know for sure that, like you said, right now, Bel-Air is doing its thing. Bumbo's going to do his thing. I saw Lil Wayne, he took a little chain. He got a chain.
And
poured a little shout out. But again, man, this is humbling.
We can all learn something from Nipsey. Nipsey told me, he said, Brett, once I learned I got to pop my trunk on the corner, man, you got to do it. You just got to put the time in, put the work in. Who cares? Just do it. You'll get there.
Right. That's amazing.
Right. Brett, if you don't mind, if you got time for one more question, I need to ask this question, man. I've never seen a company market the way you do. Like, what was, and I gotta keep saying this, what is the inspiration behind you having the swag? Like, you have people not only drinking your products, but you have people wearing your merch as part of their outfits. You know, I've seen people wearing, you know what I'm saying, like myself, wearing the Bel-Air hat, the Bel-Air shirt, the bum boot hoodie, the whatever. Like you really invested not only in the actual, you know, the liquor products or the champagne products, but in the actual swag and the merchandise of, you know, like Bel-Air and Bamboo and all the rest of your brands. Like, what was the thought process behind that? Like, was it your idea to really, you know, have like your own apparel company within your liquor company?
I think there's some things that have carried forward that have always been there. And one of the things with respect to, well, apparel, this is at the end of the day, premium brands, great brands are lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. You're choosing something. If you're driving a Tesla in New York today, you want to drive that same car when you're in LA tomorrow. You know, if you're going to have a drink of Bamboo in Seattle today and you're in South Beach tomorrow, you're going to drink Bamboo again. It goes with you. The one thing I've always thought about brands and branding is slapping logos on stuff isn't cool. Meaning, you know, take a Heineken or anything and you're just slapping that same logo on, just doesn't feel right. And to me, I don't care if the consumer walking down the street doesn't know what you're wearing and understand it. All I care about is you're wearing it and you get it. So if you look at the two shirts you're wearing, those aren't our logos. That's not our font. That's not. But they look cool, and they look right, and you know what those brands are, and that's all that matters. You know what it means. And so I'm not after the other guy. I'm after you, and you get it. Like, you get it. That's what I want. This symbol doesn't tell you anything, but I know what it is, and maybe someone else eventually understands what it is. So I'm a big fan of just it's got to feel right and look good, and you want to wear it. You want to be seen in it. I don't want to just, to me, everything has got to be very thoughtful in process.
I just never seen any other company do that. Do what you're doing with like the way you're doing it. And I asked you that question about the apparel for a specific reason. And I'm not sure if they shown you this yet, and I don't know if you know this specific detail, but I'm also a brand ambassador and a sneaker designer for Ewing Athletics. And what I'm about to show you, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but this was a project that was supposed to be done and featured with Rick Ross, but for some reason, you know, it didn't come to life. But this is something that, you know, I would love to bring to life with you and Bel-Air. And this is just a prototype, and I was trying to get it into the studio, and I couldn't get it because I couldn't go to Jersey. But this is a prototype of the Bel-Air Ewing sneaker. I don't know if you can see it, but you might have it in your email. You might have it in the email, but that was a prototype of the Ewing Bel-Air sneaker. And
it's a white with the
it was
gold.
something that was
I love it. It's got that Lux feel.
It was something that was supposed to be done.
But that's
the black and pink.
That's the example of what I think we try to be, is even when it comes to partnerships or working with people, it's very organic in the sense of, if we like an idea, we want to run with it. We don't care whose idea it is. You know, that's the philosophy we have in-house. I don't care whose idea it is, as long as we execute the good ones. So whether it's collaborating in shoes or a swag or apparel or anything, you know, we just want to make it cool. And if it fits our brand, if it helps you, great. If it helps us, great. But if the consumer who ultimately it's for understands it, that's all that matters.
So would you be willing to bring that project to life?
Sure, of course. If it fits, if it makes sense and it fits what we're trying to do, of course.
You gotta send that to Brad. You gotta send that
exclusive.
You gotta send that.
No, we definitely, you should definitely have the samples in an email, or
send me. Send me.
Yeah, definitely. But we definitely, this is something, because I'm a fan of Bel-Air. You know, so when I saw this prototype and I asked, the president of Ewing Athletics, what was the story behind it? It was just like, for whatever reason, it just didn't come to life.
It's amazing shit.
And when I became a part of the Ewing company, I made it my business, and I said, this is one of my goals, is to bring this sample to life in some way, shape, or form. And, to be able to talk to you on this platform and be able to, talk to you about this specific, situation is like, it's like a dream come true for me, so if we definitely make this happen, man, I would be very, very happy.
This is how everything in my world gets built, is based on just,
right.
You never know. It's conversations. This is why I love meeting people, talking to people, because you want to see what's out there. What can be done? What can we do? What can we make happen?
Right. And just for the record, real quick, these are just samples. So we have different silhouettes. So if you would be interested in designing, some Bel-Air sneakers from the bottom to the top, we can do it all over again. We could go, in depth with it and design a brand new sneaker. It doesn't have to be this specific, sample, but we could do, whatever it is that you're interested in doing.
Perfect. Thank you. I thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah, definitely. And we appreciate you being on this platform.
Yes.
We appreciate all the insight and all the history behind your brands. We appreciate, the gifts that you sent for us. Any exclusives, anything coming up? I know you mentioned something, but, just to leave on a big exclusive note,
you got to have me back on, because I'll have 2 new brands coming in the second half of the year, which I'm really excited about. So when those brands come, have me back. We'll taste, we'll drink, and I can share those stories.
Okay, we appreciate it. You want to give any shout outs? You want to let people know where they can follow you at on social media?
Follow on IG. You can follow me, Brett Berish, CEO. Our brands: official Bel-Air, Original Bamboo, McQueen and the Violet Fog, and Vion. Our 4 brands, our 4 children. Follow those. Any ideas, please share with us. Brand ambassadors, DJs, anybody. Just we're all about organic brand building. Let us help you.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate it, Brett. Salute to your son. We saw your son. Salute to him. Shout out to your family. And once again, thank you for taking your time.
Thank you guys. Love it.
Rocking with us today.
Thanks for the time. Thank you for allowing me to share my brands. Really love it. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and we look forward to having you back for those new projects.
Yes, sir.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Right.
As my friend Rick Ross says, too easy.
It's too easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a great night, Brett. We see
Too
you.
easy. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I had my hairs. My arm go up on the sauna. You like to see that?
Yeah, actually.
Exclusive.
Why you never show me that shit?
We gotta keep it exclusive.
You gotta keep it exclusive.
You gotta keep it exclusive.